Good morning, college and high school football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As always, this is me, your brother Larry B, along with my boy, the one and only Teran Rodriguez, bringing it to you this morning, and we got ourselves some goodies, man. I'll tell you, this past weekend, college and high school football was pretty good. Definitely not this crazy, super insane week of upsets, but it was pretty darn good. We are now in full swing. Pretty cool. We got ourselves every sanctioning body of college football going. High school football has been going for quite some time now, and it's been a lot of fun. Today, we are going to do as we usually do and take you through a journey through every one of those sanctioning bodies, or whatever you want to call them, okay, divisions, leagues, in college football, and of course high school. We had an upset for the ages in Texas, and let's just say modern day keeps getting better and better and better. Oh yeah, we got all that and more for us today, talking some D1 football as well. Oh my, I mean, Teran and I are really optimistic for our Trojans, but we don't want to get too optimistic. There's more challenges yet to come. So much more. Texas, the real deal? Oh man, we got all that and more coming up. You're now listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all. Welcome. That's right, y'all. Welcome one. Welcome all. 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. It is a beautiful, and when I mean beautiful, I'm talking about my kind of beautiful. It is gorgeous. Saturday, September 14th, 2024. It may be gloomy. Teran and I turned the lights on to get some light. But I'll tell you, it is a gorgeous day out there because Teran, you know, we've had like, I don't know, what is it? 1,003, 1,004 degree temperature the last couple of weeks, and it's been kind of annoying. So, hey, we can only pray for something like this to go outside and go, oh, it's something other than my skin burning off. So it's kind of nice. So we're happy. We got ourselves something. So with that said, man, always introducing my boy, man. He, of course, is IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, the host of Set Point here on IE Sports Radio. And I hope y'all better be listening to Set Point, man. That show is fun. Teran brings on the best guests. He puts up the coolest videos because he's actually at these events. Trust me, man. A show you're not going to want to miss, man. The host of Set Point here on IE Sports Radio, our volleyball show. Also the host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show, where he actually predicts. It's getting kind of scary of how he's predicting some of these things with the Rams and the Chargers. But to end college football as well, talking all things SoCal, and of course, my co-host here on 3 and Out College Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, man, Mr. Teran Rodriguez. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Larry. Good to be talking college football with you. It's a great day to be doing that, and I look forward to it. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, you already know. So, Teran, man, I'm excited, man. We've had ourselves some build up for some of these teams in the last couple of weeks, especially Division 3 and the 3C2A we talked about last week. So we are back into it. So we're going to take ourselves a quick break. Give a shout out to our awesome sponsors, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, and of course my beautiful wife's awesome company, Seal the Deal Wax Seals with Cecilia B, and a word from IE Sports Radio. And when we come back, we're going to jump right into all the goodies, y'all. You're listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Oh, you already know what's good. You already know. Yeah, that's right. Cruising in that 6'2". You already know. Yep. That's how we do it, y'all. Man, welcome once again, y'all. We are so happy to be here with y'all this morning. As JC said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. So we appreciate you for that, man. Thank you so very much. Once again, welcome back in. 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Now back on Facebook. Yes. Happy about that. And we are rocking and rolling. So thank you to everybody once again for tuning in, man. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you so much. Let's just jump on, man. Let's do this thing, Teran. So big ups to our sponsors. Big ups to all these awesome platforms you can catch us on, man. Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. All these awesome places you can find us. Also, make sure to follow us here at 3 and Out IE Sports Radio. 3 and Out, obviously IE Sports Radio, but 3 and Out, all spelled out. CEIE, and of course follow my good friend here, man, my boy, Mr. Teran Rodriguez at Teran Rodriguez 1. And you can follow me, our boy Larry B at the THEE_LB53. Now, without further ado, let's get on into it. So, quick little recap of last week in D1, because obviously people love D1 single A. Quick little recap here, man. There was some crazy stuff that went on last week. So we'll go ahead and jump on into that and kind of, work our way forward. But first things first, man. Darren, were you at all surprised that number 3 Texas smacked around number 10 Michigan 31-10? Are you at all surprised?
Not really, no.
31-12.
Just because this is kind of a down year for Michigan. I wouldn't say down year, but a rebuilding year. I just think Texas still had a lot more firepower, and this was a statement game, playing on the road. So I think for them, winning big like that is not surprising. I just feel that Texas has a lot more firepower.
They do. They were nastier. They were bigger and stronger and better. And I mean, they were the better team all throughout the game. Ewers looked pretty good, man, throwing 2 TDs. I mean, it was just a performance from Texas, and let's just call it what it is. Michigan's just kind of going backwards right now, So we got that fun stuff there. Yeah, good morning, my boy, Mr. Ralph Khalees. Good morning, Yukio. What's going on, you guys? Thank you for tuning in. So we're jumping on over. Some of these games, obviously, we're not even going to talk about. Number 8, Penn State defeating Bowling Green 37-27. That was a fun game because they had Penn State on the ropes for a while. However, they regained their footing and they still won that thing. That was a pretty crazy game, right, Sarah?
Yeah, it was. I was a little surprised that Bowling Green held their own, and it just goes to show you got to play the game and not assume that a team is going to crush anybody.
Well, this is the same thing with Oklahoma State. Number 16 Oklahoma State and Arkansas went head-to-head. Arkansas's been kind of down for a couple of years, but man, that double OT victory, man, 39-31. I'll tell you, Oklahoma State, they definitely got their work cut out for them because they're really good. But man, I don't know. I just kind of feel like they fall apart at the wrong moments. That was a pretty crazy game there, but so moving forward, some upsets. Syracuse beating number 23 Georgia Tech 31-28. That was pretty crazy to see. Look, it's not like Georgia Tech was supposed to be this big monster anyway. They got ranked. They looked good. Obviously knocked off Florida State at the beginning of the season. We're learning more and more about Florida State every week that Florida State's just not that good. So, I mean, what do you give a lot of credit to Georgia Tech? I don't know, kind of crazy. But I will tell you this, man. There was a brief moment in time where everyone might have thought Georgia Tech could, get a little bit better. I don't know, but whatever. I mean, one of those deals there. But yeah, so a little recap here. Big shout to Pitt defeating Cincinnati 28-27. Man, that's that Steelers Bengals vibes right there. Good solid game there. Obviously, Georgia gets destroying Tennessee Tech. I mean, lots of different stuff here. But the one that was kind of the kicker, Darren, at least for me right now. Northern Illinois knocking off number 5 Notre Dame 16-14. Taryn, what the hell happened?
I had a feeling that this kind of game was going to happen to Notre Dame. How I was basically saying that Notre Dame starts off really good, really high ranked, and that's kind of the reason why I chose Texas A&M. Well, that clunker game for Notre Dame really caught up to them. I didn't think it would be against NIU of all teams. Do you know that win is significant for NIU because that's actually their first top 5 win in program history. And they have a tradition where every time they beat I think it's like a Power 4 or Power 4 school, they have like a bone which resembles the school that they beat, whether it's like Notre Dame, they beat Alabama, they beat K-State, they beat Northwestern, Purdue, Nebraska, etc., etc. So now Notre Dame is a part of that history of NIU defeating that said team and being part of their first ever top 5 win. So Notre Dame made history in the worst way, while NIU made history and then some. And keep in mind, they wound up winning in South Bend. Yikes, Notre Dame. Big yikes.
I mean, they're not who we thought they were. I mean, it is what it is, Teran. I love it, man. So hey, it's what it is. That's amazing, man. Good old Huskies. Good job, NIU. That's crazy. So yeah, man, that was pretty crazy game there. Teran, there was some more, man. This was crazy. The Cy-Hawk Trophy, always a fun game, man. The Cy-Hawk Trophy is headed on to Iowa State. 20-19, these guys defeated at home, okay, or on the road for them, okay, defeated number 21 Iowa. What the hell? That was pretty crazy because Iowa State didn't even look that strong coming into this game, but it's a rivalry game. Iowa just continues to show that they're a lot like Georgia Tech. You know, they're going to look strong every now and then just not be that good. That was fun to talk about last week. Yeah, dude, that was a pretty entertaining game for quite some time. That one kept me entertained for a good minute. That was pretty funny. So anyway, so we'll go ahead and just kind of whiz through a lot of these. Teran, obviously, if I missed some of these, you know, you can talk about some of your favorite ones there. But some other notables: Illinois, man, defeating number 19 Kansas 23-17. I mean, there weren't as many upsets as last week, but it was still pretty funny to see that game, man. Illinois, you know, I give them a lot of crap, but they're 2-0 right now, man. Altmaier, this guy, man, almost 200 yards through the air. Franklin, 99 yards, 9 receptions receiving. I mean, this is I don't know. This team played pretty dang good to knock off Kansas. And let me see any other notables here. Oh, obviously there was a pretty fun game here that we talked about, and you pegged pretty good there. And San Jose State defeating Air Force 17-7. That was a game where, you know, you and I were like, okay, let's see. We had to pick them here, of course, and you chose the Spartans. Good choice here. I thought the Falcons had more than this, and they just didn't. So they didn't have the extra gear like the Spartans did. But you know. But regardless, all of these games, pretty fun. Number 15, Oklahoma, barely pulls out the victory over Houston, 16-12. That's a little concerning. You know, talking about Oklahoma, I don't know. Did they just have an off day? I don't know. It was kind of crazy. But the same thing could be said for Boise, for Oregon with Boise, man. Number 7, freaking Oregon in Boise State, 37-34. Oregon. Oh, they were on the ropes the whole game. And I mean, there were some good ones, man. I mean, Oregon State knocking off San Diego State 21-0, which shut out. I know, just one of those deals. And of course, the big one. This isn't even a big one. The score was a big one, but number 14, Tennessee, just absolutely destroying number 24, NC State, 51-10 on the road. So, Teran, any of those games or any other games you want to bring up, man? That was a pretty crazy week, right?
Yeah, the Oklahoma game, they needed everything and more to defeat Houston. That safety that they scored in the fourth quarter was big. And the Oregon Boise State matchup, that was a big one just because Oregon controlled the ball last and basically they were able to drive home the game-winning field goal, which it's kind of like one of those. When I saw Oregon having the ball and it was late in the game and Boise State was using its timeouts, I was thinking, we all know how this is going to end. This is like a Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs end. So there's that right there. And then we can't forget USC shutting out Utah State 48-0. Honestly, I expected USC to win, but I didn't expect a shutout, which I thought was pretty surprising. Their last shutout was the infamous 50-0 game against UCLA. So
yeah.
Gotta give props to USC as they actually have a bye week. I thought they were playing this week, but they have a bye week and they'll get a chance to prepare for Michigan as they got to go to the big house.
You know, Terrence, somehow, some way, I don't feel so worried about that game anymore, like how I was. So yeah, no, I'm just saying, but we shall see. But yeah, Terrence, some good games there in the recaps. What team? Okay, out of everybody last week, what team just absolutely surprised you in the best way, and what team absolutely surprised you in the worst way?
Well, in terms of the worst way, I'll say Iowa had surprised me in the worst way. I don't get the hype when it comes to Iowa. It's like just when we think that they're turning the corner. They wind up only putting up 19 points against Iowa State and losing at home. So I don't see the hype with them. I just don't. I really don't. I'm sorry, but I just
Yeah.
can't. And then a surprise for the better was probably Northern Illinois pulling off that big win over Notre Dame. Utah winning was a pretty good one, as they wound up setting the tone the first half and then just not scoring again. But their defense is always big and strong. Oklahoma almost getting skunked. That was another near clunker. Kansas State almost got clunked by Tulane. Tulane was turning back the clock to a few years ago when they wound up winning the Cotton Bowl against our beloved USC Trojans. So, and then Arizona struggled against Northern Arizona, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, dude, I actually talked with Alden K on Always Air or AZ Sports Zone about how Arizona struggled against probably the worst Division I Arizona team in all of Arizona, Northern Arizona. And they were down. They were down at halftime, 10-6, and they needed a second half surge. It's kind of like how Utah State was down 14-10 to Robert Morris, an FCS school, and then they needed to turn on the gas in order to legit pull away. That's the reason why no one should be surprised that Utah State lost or got shut out. Some of my buddies were saying that Utah State got hosed by the officials. It's like, okay, well, they probably would have lost like 35-0 instead of 48-0. So cope.
I'm gonna pull Marcus Lowe's grade. The nerve of these guys.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, okay, you really are making a being so nitpicky about a loss by 48.
Yeah, stop it. The nerve.
They need to look into how Utah State played, because unlike them, we know our college ball and we know our FCS and FBS.
Oh, yeah, that's for dang sure. So, yeah, these cats need to learn a little something. So, Teran, all right, brother. Well, that was a little fun, going around that horn over there. But all right, so moving back over here now to high school, good old high school football. Okay, so it's kind of hilarious. Max Preps is tripping. They got Modern Day losing a game here. Obviously somebody's just trying to have fun on this thing. But yeah, man, Modern Day. They handled Bishop Gorman last week, 31-15. And we had a chance to talk about that actually last week. We talked about how good this team was, and just they're solid. They're extremely strong. They got it done, dude. And we talked about how much better Modern Day is just than pretty much every other team. And this team is going to continue on. They're going to keep doing what they do, and they're just gonna play on and just really whoever they're facing is gonna give their best effort. I mean, that's really it. Like that's Modern Day when you play them. You're like, all right, well, I'm facing this 8-foot giant. That's what it is. So this week, of course, they are in Hawaii taking on Kahuku, and I mean, Teran, Kahuku once ranked. I think they're ranked now. I don't know if they're 25, but easy to say, right? I mean, Kahuku did upset St. John Bosco last year, but Modern Day also smacked Kahuku around before that St. John Bosco game. Pretty sure Modern Day is going to go over there and win this game tonight, right, Teran?
Yeah. See, Hawaii's actually ranked number 2 behind Mililani. I think that's how it's pronounced, which actually beat Los Alamitos last week, 27-24. They're actually ranked 41st nationally. So, yeah, this one's going to be a very, very interesting matchup between those two. I think it's going to be a barn burner. And, yes, disregard whatever baloney, sausage, and fake news that someone put as Modern Day losing. So, and do not attach any association of that to me whatsoever. I have nothing to do with such infamousy, such blasphemy, such ridiculous nonsense. That is so disrespectful to Modern Day. There has been a few of those outliers being like so sneaky and deceiving and putting in fake news or wrong scores. So, but the true game will be tonight. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be a banger of a matchup between the second best team in Hawaii and the best team in California. So get your popcorn ready. And if it's televised, go get to a TV.
Yeah, right? Big ups to our boy Drewski tuning in, man. We'll be talking about some Texas high school football right now. He got a chance to talk about that this week on Hard Texas Sports, man. Great stuff there. But yeah, man, it's the truth. Whoever did that, oh my gosh, you guys are stupid because, yeah, Modern Day did not. I mean, hey, it does say Newport Harbor on there.
That's why I said do not attach any of this association to me whatsoever.
Yeah, not even right. So, would you imagine that, Terry? That would be something. But anyway, so of course, number 2 in the nation, St. John Bosco. They just keep rolling on. They defeated Sierra Canyon 38-28. That's actually a little too close to comfort for the Braves there, but they did win it. Sierra Canyon is a great program. I don't know. St. John Bosco just world's better in my opinion, but this was a little close for me, but they get that victory there. Now they're headed up north, actually. Coach Negro and his team are headed on up to Northern California to take on good old Junipero Serra, which is Tom Brady's high school. Pretty cool. Yeah, they're going to head up there today. They got themselves a nice little game in Northern California, so it should be pretty good. Serra, of course, obviously California high-ranked team. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Drewski. So we are going to, talk all about that next week for sure. A good recap of that game. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. St. John Bosco just looking like they're, themselves. So we're going to get into the role of the top 10 of the country real quick. And then, of course, Teran, add anything you'd like to coming on up. So 4-0 for Milton, man. Milton out of Georgia. They just did their thing this past week. They defeated Blessed Trinity, the Blessed Trinity Titans. They're now 4-0 on the season, 28-14. Roll on Milton Eagles, man, out of Georgia. This team is doing their thing right now, looking strong. Heading on over to Texas, man. Our boy Drewski knows a thing or two about them Duncanville Panthers. And, bro, this is going to be fun today. They got themselves a little Baltimore action, man. They look, they're no stranger to not liking the DMV, obviously, with their good friends, the Commanders, those Cowboy fans over there. So, Duncanville, man, this team just handled South Oak Cliff 34-12 last week, and now they're welcoming on over good old St. Francis Academy. Look, St. Francis Academy, we talked about them. They kind of just fell out of the sky. They were a star that fell out of the sky a couple of years back. Their redemption is, there. Regardless, though, they're a good school. Definitely one of the best in the country. But when it comes down to it, man, I don't know about today. Duncanville is kind of a tall order, but I'm just going to talk about that. Bishop Gorman. Obviously, a game where we really thought, Darren, we really thought that, Bishop Gorman would win this game pretty handedly, despite a lot of people saying that Orange Lutheran, would be a major challenge. And they scored their points, Darren. Orange Lutheran held their own. Olu held their own for the most part, but Bishop Gorman's just really good. And 55-28, man. Bishop Gorman wins this thing. They're now 3-1 on the season. Obviously, last week, like I said, they fell to Modern Day. But people were talking about this other Trinity League team, Orange Lutheran, possibly beating them, and they just wasn't to be. So those are the top 5 right there, Taryn. Any of those games you want to comment on?
Yeah, the Bishop Gorman game, I feel Orange Lutheran playing at Bishop Gorman was just too much for them. I feel if they maybe played in California, Bishop Gorman, it might have been a little closer, and Orange Lutheran might have had a better chance. But playing in Nevada, away from your fans and whatnot, it's just so tough. But it doesn't mean Orange Lutheran is bad. I mean, you play some of the best to try to be some of the best. And Orange Lutheran, I think, can still vie for challenging Modern Day or in St. John Bosco in the Trinity League. I feel that the Braves and the Monarchs will still probably handle Orange Lutheran, but don't count out Orange Lutheran. They're a sneaky good team. They could probably see themselves in the top 8 in terms of the Division I bracket. And you also got to keep an eye out for, as you mentioned, Sierra Canyon. Last year, they made the semifinals of Division I, wound up losing to eventual champion Mater Dei. I think it's a very good program. And the fact that they held their own against Bosco shows how strong they truly are. And also, I don't think this team played this week. The Mission Viejo, they're now in the national top 10. And I think they're always a sneaky good team. I actually got to cover their league counterparts, San Clemente last night. But Mission Viejo being in the nationally ranked top 10, they think they went from 25 after knocking down Santa Margarita and nearly shutting them out, all the way to pretty much jumping into the top 10, which I think is pretty cool. They're second in California. They beat Highland. I guess they might have beaten Highland. Maybe. I don't know. You never know with these fake news, but they've got some pretty solid wins. Bosch is going to be such a good opponent for them next week.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, they're going to be really battle tested. Chaparral, that's a solid team that beat San Clemente. Long Beach Poly, a little on the young side, but always a banger of a matchup. And then they've got San Clemente, Edison, Los Alamitos, which are all playing great football as of late. Their head coach, Chad Johnson, actually describes the Alpha League that they're in as the SEC of public schools in Orange County. Yeah.
I like that. That's actually pretty cool. Well, certainly, man, a little bit of Southern California high school right there, man. Great stuff. Moving forward, man, I love it. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff there, man. So IMG Academy, number 6, they obviously got themselves a nice victory, 57-0. I promise it was not Bishop Sycamore.
I was about to say that. It wasn't against Bishop Sycamore.
It was Mount Zion Prep. That's actually a real school, Teran. That was pretty funny. I had a feeling it was coming to freaking Teran. I love it. Hey, we joke. I don't give a crap. We have fun on this show, right?
Exactly.
So, North Shore, man, team down in Houston. This team, obviously, 3-0 now in the season, looking strong. Defeated Westfield 47-3. The number 7 team in the country, looking pretty good. St. Thomas Aquinas, yes, they have themselves a mark on their season from earlier this year, losing to Bishop Gorman. But they've been 3-0 ever since, defeating Western 23-15, which that was a close game for those guys, but they got themselves a hell of a game there. Victory. So good job to St. Thomas Aquinas, currently the number 8 team in the country out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Next up, Carrollton, man, out of Georgia, another Georgia team in this top 10. They defeated Gainesville 45-16. They are currently now 5-0 on the season, actually, looking really good. Number 9 team in the country. And rounding things out, Teran, do you know who number 10 is? We have a new number 10 in the country.
Mission Viejo.
I know you saw that, but it's okay. I'm gonna reiterate it. Yes, good old Mission Viejo, man. The Diablos are looking pretty good, 4-0 now. As you just mentioned, they defeated Highland. But yeah, man, I'm excited. You just talked about the rest of that schedule, dude. That's gonna be a really fun schedule. Mission Viejo has a really fun schedule, man. You're at Bosch, Chaparral, Long Beach, Poly, San Clemente, Edison, Los Alamitos, all those schools are incredible. So, I mean, yeah, man, it's been a fun year for those guys. And I don't know, man, I want to see Mission Viejo really ball out. They have a hell of a team this year. So, you're at number 10 in the country, looking good. And, yeah, hats off to them. But, yeah, so, obviously, I like what Mr. Drewski is saying here. This was crazy. DeSoto, obviously, with the bounce back. Because, yeah, DeSoto got punched, man. They lost this last pass. Well, no, they actually defeated Miller, but they would lose that upset game we talked about last week, man, to North Crowley. That was nasty, 57-51 in that crazy overtime game. They would go down 30 spots, man. to 35. Crazy, right? And then, of course, North Crowley would go up like 30 spots themselves. Okay, they went way up in the rankings. But this week, man, DeSoto bouncing back, getting a nice little victory there for those guys. They're now number 25 in the country. So, got to keep an eye on those guys. But certainly some great stuff there in all around the nation. And I wish, we can get some more in there, but I know we got ourselves a long show ahead of us. But appreciate you guys, man, for tuning in. You guys are amazing. What's up, Book? Appreciate you, brother, for tuning in, man. As always, man, Mr. Drewski over here jumping in the chat. We appreciate you, brother. So there you go. A little bit of high school football, man, around. I mean, Teran, I don't think there's going to be any upsets this week, but then again,
got to play the game.
Got to play the game. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So Teran, that's going to do it, man. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, dude, we're going to jump on into the 3C2A. How did RCC do this past week? That was pretty cool. How did MSJC do, bro? How did Mount Santa Cito do versus the Mounties of Mount Sac? It was a fun weekend, man, obviously. And then, so 3C2A, as I would say, the junior colleges of California kicked off last week. And, of course, the NJCAA, the junior colleges of the rest of the country. Got it. Big shout out, man, to some of them schools out there looking strong, looking good. How did number 1 versus number 2 go? Oh, we're going to talk all about that. You are now listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back with plenty more after this.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
You're damn right. You're damn right you want to tune into IE Sports Radio directly for all that is sports, because we bring it, baby. We've been doing this for 10 years, man. Don't even play with me. I mean, I feel like DMX right now, man. I've been doing this for 19 years. You don't want to fight me? Fight these kids. I'm playing. Sorry. Come on, Teran. Back me up, bro. Come on. You're supposed to say, I put in work and it's all for the kids, but these cats done forgot what work is. Come on, Teran.
Isn't that song like 20 years old?
You leave me.
Sorry.
All right, man, we're gonna end the show, man. I'm gonna go. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you so much for being. Yeah, all right. Leave me alone, man.
Sorry. Whoops.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Damn. Okay, I don't feel old at all right now. I promise. I just, my bad, bro. I'm just saying. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Teran over here telling me I'm old. Yeah, rest easy, X, all day, man. Yeah, man. Oh. That's our boy, man. Oh, love him. I'm just saying.
X will always give it to you.
Yeah, all day. Knock, knock. Open up the doors. It's real. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just, yeah. It's hard doing this without profanity. There's so many words you got to evade on air, unless you're the SoCal Saint. Gotta show love, man. That's right, man. X, but yeah, bro. Yeah, thank you. Not old, classic. Hey, bro, when I get old, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. Man, I ain't old. I'm classic. Like, this is turning into like a public health kind of thing. All day. I like that. Anyway, people are like, what the hell is in that cup? It's coffee. I promise, guys. It's coffee, okay? It's coffee. Nothing's in there. So, Teran, let's do this thing, man. It's been a fun one so far. Teran, wow, bro. The big ups to everybody tuning in, man. We appreciate you guys as well again, man. Big follow Instagram, of course, Facebook. You guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in, man. Our listeners are shooting through the roof, so we appreciate you guys for being here. All right, bro. So week one of the 3C2A concluded. I'm just going to say this, dude. I'm just going to say this. I am oh man, there you go. Well, hey, big shout out to our boy Yukio, man. Yes, it is 11:50 p.m. It is almost Sunday right now in Japan. And our boy Yukio is over here working the graveyard shift listening to IE Sports Radio because that's how awesome he is. That's why he's number one in the IE Sports Radio Hall of Fame all day long. We love him. Great. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Catch the rest later, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Isn't that crazy, Teran? It's almost 8 o'clock here in the morning, and they're like, yeah, we're going to Sunday already. Like, it's crazy, man. Gotta love that geography, man. So with that said, brother, let's get into that 3C2A and talk a little bit about last week. Dude, I'm just gonna say this right now. I am so happy and impressed with my RCC Tigers, man. Look, I don't care. I'll say it a million times up. I'm a proud Tiger. Played for this team about 18 years ago. Loved every moment of it, man. Got a chance to play for Coach Kraft. Got a chance to play for Coach Brown. It was a really fun time, man. I had some amazing coaches. The late, great Coach Richie, Coach Cook. I mean, my goodness, amazing coaches, man, that I will always just have so much respect for. I'm just proud I got to play for, and it was a lot of fun over there, bro. So yeah, Cheverini, yeah, I mean, great coaches, man, great people, and I'm just really happy that we have ourselves, RC has established great footing in these last, my gosh, what? Yeah, but it's been about 15 years since 14 years since Coach Kraft took over. So, man, time flies. But I will tell you this right now, Teran. RCC looked pretty good last week, man. I didn't like the few scores from Long Beach. But Long Beach looked pretty good. Okay, Long Beach came to play, and you got to respect it. It's a rivalry, bro. When we played them, they fought. Well, no, yeah. That year we beat them about, I think it was like 60 to like 12. So, it was the 1 year we got to play those guys. That was obviously back in like 08. But Long Beach is a good school, man. They came to play, they came to fight. But RCC obviously was too much for them. 44-21, man. Just looked strong, looked good out. That I sent you the link, Teran. And you got to catch the end of it as well, close to the end of it. It was a hell of a game. I'm very, very proud of RCC. He's kind of pulling out their stops, making it happen, man. It was a fun one. It was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good game. I thought Riverside just really showed up in that first half, and it was just an insurmountable lead for Long Beach to overcome. So you got to have credit where credit's due. Riverside is definitely one of the big dogs this season. And it's no shade at Long Beach, but I just think Riverside definitely is that team that always makes a statement. And remember, this was their first game of their title defense. Mm-hmm. So I think for Riverside, they needed to make a statement, and they did against a rival. So 1-0. It shows that Riverside is the real deal, and anyone that opposes Riverside, watch out.
It's the truth, man. Quarterback Brady Jones, this dude is looking good. I don't know if he's a freshman or a sophomore. I can't find it, but the dude can play. Homeboy, man, this is pretty crazy, man. He threw for 337 yards, man. He threw for 1 TD. His pass efficiency was 137.2. Dude, he's actually really good. I was watching him throw that damn ball all over the place the other day. Last weekend, and I'm really impressed with him. I like what he's got. He went 26 for 42. I know it's not the best average. Oh, he's a sophomore. And
yes,
honestly,
he's a sophomore. I can confirm.
Yeah, he is a good player. I don't know where he's committed to. This is why it's good to listen to these parts of the show, guys, because these guys are going to your teams out there. Right, Teran? These guys are going to your teams. You're going to catch these cats transferring to these big D1 schools because they're in the transfer portal as well, guys. These guys are transferring on over. They're trying to find themselves a home to play that D1 football. So trust me, guys, you're going to want to keep up with these guys. Divine Pearson looked pretty good. Brandon McMasters looked pretty good. Andre Bunch. I mean, these guys looked great, man. So Riverside, #1 in California for a reason. And this is just impressive. It was an impressive showing. But no knock on Long Beach. Like I said, Long Beach played good. They just,
ran into a buzzsaw.
Exactly. So real quick, down the street, man, like I'm telling you, just a few exits up from us here, a few exits north. Mount San Antonio came on over to play Mount San Jacinto. And like I said, man, back when I played in the 3C2A, Mount San Jacinto was just like they weren't even in the high league to earn a title. Now they have they've just really done a lot there, man. The recruiting has gone off in the last couple of years, and they're actually in the serious conference now. And they got themselves a taste of Mount San Antonio, which is kind of funny because for so long, people would actually call Mount San Jacinto Mount Sac. But I'm like, no, guys, the real Mount Sac's out in LA in Walnut. And that's Mount Sac. Well, Mount San Jack is what I've learned to call it now, MSJC, the Eagles. Look, man, they hosted in their beautiful new arena and their beautiful, beautiful new stadium, hosted Mount San Antonio, and, well, the Mounties came on over, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it was kind of, I guess, but yeah, man, at the half, 21-10, and it just kind of went from there. The Mounties just kind of went on, and 38-21. Victory there for Mount Sac at home. I mean, on the road, sorry. And they just kind of had their way with these guys, Teran.
Yeah, I think Mount San Antonio kind of got a little bit of the first game jitters. I think in that first quarter, they just felt a little jittery, and then they really started to kick it up a gear in the second quarter. And I think that's kind of what set the tone. And this is no knock on Mount San Jacinto, but Mount Sac, I think, is just a much more physical team. They have really and steadily improved the last few years, and they've proven that they can be in the contending type. They could be a part of the contenders in terms of the Final Four of the regional playoff game. So I think for Mount San Antonio, they're going to be a very scary team down the stretch. And if they play their cards right, they could just flirt around and win the whole thing. But that's still a long ways from now.
They are a strong team. Noah Fiolatello, man. I hope I didn't butcher his name there. But 130 yards through the air. Devin Miles, bro. 108 yards on the ground. Devin Anderson, 68 yards only, but still, he played a great role. Once again, these guys they'll be making their way to division wins near you, man. So, some of these guys is looking really, really strong, really early. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Mount San Antonio just kind of had a little bit of the jitters coming out, but it was all good. So regardless, man, really good stuff there in those games. Those were some big games that we highlighted. El Camino, bro, Southwestern just hasn't had good seasons at all. El Camino went over there and just gave it to them 29-10. But I will tell you right now, the Jaguars fought for a little bit. Big ups to them. The Warriors of El Camino. Fun fact, that is a stadium where the longest yard last game was shot at, of course, at Murdoch Stadium. So shout out to them. Regardless though, Teran, I mean, there were some games where we were like, hey, this could be a good one. And some of them kind of duds. Overall, let me see here. I want to go really, really, really quick to try to find the San Mateo game because I know they obviously played last week. And
it was a barn burner.
It was a barn burner, Teran. That's the one I wanted to really highlight. Teran, San Mateo was the runner-up last year. Yeah, they lost to RCC by a field goal. They fought tooth and nail. Okay, I am not going to throw shade anywhere at all. But, bro, it's either San Mateo is losing a step or Sierra, that is unranked, came out and fought these fools, man. Final score 27-26. Number 2 was on the ropes basically the whole damn game. It was 12-10 at the half, man. San Mateo had a fight on their hands. They escaped this one because Sierra actually outscored them in the fourth quarter 13-8. So, I mean, realistically, man, did they just have a bad day? Did Sarah just have a really good day? Did both those happen at the same exact time? Or is Sarah really coming? Dude, Maddox Varela out of Sierra, dude. I think he's a sophomore too. This cat threw for 279 yards. They looked pretty good. Now, honestly, Connor Anacarcio, I don't want to butcher his name there, even though I just did. 216 yards through the air. Lolo Mataleli, he got 113 on the ground, and Hassan Mahassan got 130 yards through the air from San Mateo. So obviously you can see some leaders there from those guys. But dude, Sierra played well, man. Once again, final score 27-26. Wow. San Mateo barely pulled that one off. How about that, Teran?
Yeah, and it actually got to the point where Sierra drove down the field late in the game and actually got the go-ahead touchdown. They went for 2, and you play to win the game, but unfortunately, they did not get the 2-point conversion. Oh. In other words, Sierra missed the 2-point conversion. So I had to go there.
Teran. Really, Teran?
But it was still a fantastic effort. If they get that 2-point conversion, oh man, I don't know if San Mateo can drive down the field in 53 seconds, but it has been done. Obviously, I mean the Chiefs did it against the Bills back in the divisional round in 13 seconds. So you never know. But that was such a great effort by Sierra. I was just downright impressed by them. Yeah, they really fought tooth and nail. Most teams that are down 27-13 in the fourth quarter, they normally just throw in the towel. But for their sake, they just did not want to go away. And I think for them, I just think that they just held their own. And I think that is just incredible right there.
I do too. You got Bruce Gilby. Did I hear Teran use Herman Edwards' quote? Oh my goodness, that was pretty funny. Teran's always trying to get us sponsored, talking about Sierra missed. Sierra missed. Hey, no, that was pretty funny. But yeah, Teran, I'll tell you, man, hell of a game. Some good. Golden West beating Bakersfield really close one here, 27-25. So I mean, Teran, there were some really good ranked games here, but I mean, obviously, I think we covered the big ones, but other ones you want to mention, man? How about that in 3C2A from last week?
Yeah, man, San Diego Mesa. I don't know if it's because San Bernardino Valley has seen better days, but yikes. San Diego Mesa took them to the shed 65-0. And then we had Fullerton shutting out Santa Barbara. Ventura and Saddleback played a nice little game right there. Ventura's still kind of picking up the pieces after a little bit of a rebuild and whatnot. But Ventura, I know them for always being a really good team. And I feel that Ventura just really socked it to him early and often. So, I think we pretty much touched upon the notable ones, except for Moore Park Palomar. That was good right there. That was good. 17-16. Moore Park needed a massive comeback to win that one. Yeah. And you already mentioned Golden West beating Bakersfield by a couple of fingers. LA Southwest took down West LA on the road 20-18. That was a good one.
Good game.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part.
Well, there were some doozies there, Teran. You just talked about Golden West right now. They are now number 8 in the 3C2A. And do you know where they're going? Or do you know who's coming to town this week, Teran?
Not off the top of my head. I'll have to.
Golden West today in about 4 hours is hosting number 1 Riverside Community College.
That's gonna be a banger right there.
Teran, the Rustlers haven't beaten Riverside in a long time. I think the last time they played, I think it was a really, it was a pretty good game. But RCC obviously handily they won that game. They played the playoffs a couple years ago. Teran, how you feeling, man? Riverside is looking real good right now. Golden West, they're a good Orange County team. This is a Riverside versus Riverside. Well, obviously Riverside County versus Orange County game here. Number 1 versus number 8. What do you think?
I'm actually messing with this matchup right here. I think this is going to be an instant classic. Riverside is going to pull out the win, but honestly, don't be surprised if Golden West makes Riverside really work for that win. I think the last time they played, well, not last year. I think I remember they played in the playoffs or in the regional playoffs where RCC pulled off the win, and I think that was en route to them finishing as runners-up in the state playoffs. But this is always an instant classic, and these are the type of games that always go down to the wire and that always get decided by the littlest of things.
It's gonna be a fun game. I'm going Riverside in this game too, but dude, that's gonna be a really cool game to watch. I'm really, really excited for that one. So let's see what these cats can do. Just so you guys know, Sierra moved all the way up from, I don't know where they even came from. But these cats are now previous rank. Where were they ranked at? They were ranked 21. So, yeah, they were actually ranked last week. My apologies. I thought they were unranked. But they have moved on up to number 18, even with that loss to San Mateo's. That was kind of cool. They earned some rank. But, yeah, man. So, yeah, I got that game today, of course. Did San Mateo fall? No, they are still number 2. I just wanted to make sure about that. So anyway, Sierra will take on Fresno City today. So let's see how those guys do. Cerritos and San Diego Mesa. That should be a fun game. San Diego Mesa at number 10. Obviously, Cerritos 17. Two pretty good pretty good little battle right there, I think. Mount San Jacinto, can they rebound? They are, not ranked. Obviously, they're trying to fight the big boys now because they're becoming a big boy themselves. And today they're taking on Citrus. They are number 11 right now in the 3C2A, right next door to Zeus Pacific University. So that is, I would hope that's a pretty fun game. Southwestern versus San Bernardino Valley. It's postponed because the wildfires, obviously. We hope everyone over there on the line fire is okay. But yeah, it's just, man, that's a game between two teams who need wins quickly. But yeah, so we got some of that Ventura that you already mentioned yesterday. Wow, Teran. You already mentioned just a little bit ago. Ventura, yes, they are currently number 6, and they're going to be taking on Mount San Antonio, number 4. To me, that's like my game of the day right there. Ventura is heading on down south to Walnut, California. Should be a very good game there as those Pirates take on the Mounties. I'm going to go the Mounties by a small margin, but this is definitely last week was a tune-up game for the Mounties because the Pirates are coming full force. That should be a really good game, maybe even an upset, but I don't count on that one for sure. And then, of course, we have here, let's see, Palomar. Oh, cool, that's a pretty good game. Well, Palomar's not really that great anymore. Taking on El Camino. But here's a fun one. Bakersfield. Hey, good old Bakersfield. They are tied for 20th right now with Moore Park. They are taking on those Long Beach Vikings. And obviously, Long Beach, they are not ranked. They kind of fell out of contention there. But I'll tell you right now, though, that should be a fun little game. So, yeah, Teran, any of those games you excited for today?
Yeah, I'm excited for the ones that you just mentioned. I think I'd go with Mount Sac over Ventura. I think the long drive is going to be too much for the Pirates. And then I think Long Beach should handle Bakersfield, even though Bakersfield almost beat Golden West. And then I think this is kind of an underrated matchup. I think College of the Canyons and Fullerton, that's a good one.
Oh, crap, yeah.
Yeah, Fullerton is definitely they're always a good, solid team and a good I think they're kind of I would say under the radar, but I think maybe they're a little forgotten about because RCC is a thing. Golden West is starting to shoot up the rankings. Mount Sac is really good. Long Beach, I think, is pretty good. So I think Fullerton's going to be up there. And College of the Canyons, I think, presents a good challenge. Fullerton obviously got their shutout against Santa Barbara City last week, but now they get College of the Canyons.
Which should be pretty fun. So, Darren, my game of the day actually is not going to be Ventura Mount San Antonio. It's going to be those Raiders of Moore Park taking on number 1 in the land, Orange Coast. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Taryn is not amused. I'm sorry, Taryn. I'm sorry.
I mean, Moore Park barely beat Palomar last week, so maybe, and Orange Coast defense really just let up quite a bit against Allen Hancock. So the only way Orange Coast beats Moore Park is if their defense shows up and their offense is able to put up 28 plus like they did last week. So other than that, this one might be an ugly game. The only way that might be the best way for OCC to win. If they want to win, they have to win ugly. Even if it has to be a 3-0 game like they had a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's oh man, that would be crazy. But big ups to Orange Coast, of course. Terran's alma mater over there, man. Let's go Pirates. See what these guys can do today. Big ups to Patty Backs talking about headed to the UB game. Go Bulls. We'll be talking about the Bulls in just a little bit. So big ups to you, Patty. You and Fran, enjoy yourselves. Have fun. So we're going to jump on in now to the NJCAA. We just talked about the community colleges, the JUCOs of California. Now we're headed on over to the JUCOs of the rest of the country, of course. Taryn, last week, bro, there was only one game we had our eyes on. Just one. Nobody else even mattered, even though there were some barn burners there. But Taryn, I feel like we've seen this before. This happened last year. These two teams played. Number 2 defeated number 1, and then the national championship went the other way. But Taryn, last week, dude, NJCAA, Hutchinson, man, number 2 Hutchinson defeated Iowa Western, number 1, 38-37.
I think, if I recall correctly, I think I might have called that one.
You called that one. That was, damn it. I thought the Reapers were going to win that game. Oh, that was a good game. Dude, how about that, man? You got to love it, man. Iowa Western, Hunter Deckers, man. Once again, that's why you should listen to this segment. All of you out there, these guys are coming to a D1 near you. Okay, all these guys are going to transfer out and go somewhere, and they might even be on your team coming up. I'll tell you right now, man, Hunter Decker, 715 yards so far in just like 2 or 3 games. The dude is playing out of his mind. I mean, he's going to make something happen there. Also out of, he's got 357.5 per game, yards per game. Let me say that again, 357.5 yards a game. He's only played a few games. Okay, homeboy is throwing the ball everywhere and connecting. Okay, so hell of a performance there. But Taryn, wow, bro. Like, really? Like, seriously? Did that just happen? Look, Hutchinson is strong. We knew it. This team was good. This team was going to be great. But yeah, man, these fools. Talk about a great victory there. Oh my gosh, it was a fun one. I got to read up on this game a little bit and just amazing stuff here, man. But yeah, I just can't even understand how this happened. Regardless, though, big ups to those guys, man. And then Hutchinson, man, Samari Coiler, 156 yards through the air. Waymond Jordan Jr., 174 yards on the ground. Benson Prosper, he had 78 yards passing, or receptions, reception yards, that is. And dude, this was a fun game, Taryn.
Yeah, extremely fun, and those are the type of games you live for in terms of the NJCAA. There weren't. I don't know if that. I think that might have been the only. Okay, there was one other game that was decided by one score. I think every other game was decided by 2+ scores, which I wouldn't say that's disappointing, but it kind of takes away from the fun. And I feel the Hutchinson Iowa Western game was just a banger. Like, there was high scoring affair in the first half, and then Iowa Western really started to catch up. and eventually Hutchinson was able to eke out the win, which is just darn right impressive. And that's what great teams do, and you have to give it up to Hutchinson. And it's just, I feel for Iowa Western, it's kind of like the Sierra versus San Mateo game. They got the touchdown late, but unfortunately they could not convert on the 2-point conversion, and Hutchinson wound up eking out the win. But at least they're going for the win and not playing for overtime. Because if you play for overtime, I don't know the rules when it comes to the 3C2A, but I imagine it might be like college football, where you basically get the ball first and then you pass it off to the other team, and then you play until someone has more points than the other team and whatnot. So yeah, that might have been the most instant classic we've ever seen right there. So it was a movie right there. It basically had everything. You could not script it. No. And that touchdown came late. There was like 3 seconds left.
Yes.
Iowa Western said, "We're going for the win." But oh man.
They attempted the onside kick, didn't happen, and bro, the Blue Dragons freaking won that game. What a game. That's a fun one. These games need to be televised, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, they work something out, man. These are fun games. And I really think people could enjoy this way better than watching a cupcake game with the FBS and FCS or something. I mean, come on now. So great game there, man. Good old Iowa Western just couldn't make it happen. But dude, the Blue Dragons, they are number one now in the land. And it says here in this beautifully written article, by the way, Council Bluffs, Iowa, is posted on their website at iwcc.prestosports.com. It says here that Hutchinson, let me find it. So this victory allowed Hutchinson to even the all-time series with the Reavers at 5 wins each, and will push the Reavers into the loss column for the first time since last season's regular season finale, a 42-28 loss at Gowen Stadium. Dude, this was crazy. That was just, oh my gosh. So what a game. I'll tell you right now, I'm not too concerned. I think these two are going to probably meet up again in the national championship because, well, why not, right? I mean, they're two damn good football teams. They're going to make waves, and they're going to keep on doing their thing. So, I mean, it's obvious, right? So last week, like I said, there was no bangers at all. That last week, this was the only game that was even kind of worth watching. There is a little rivalry game, Garden City and Dog City, but obviously Garden City gets smacked around Dog City. 38-9, not even worth mentioning there. We had a little DFW battle here, Drewski. Actually, sorry, it was not a DFW. It involved a DFW team, though. Georgia Military 35-10 over Tyler there. And I'll tell you, this game ended up being pretty good. Highland defeating Iowa Central 14-13 on the road. Highland of Kansas there. So that was actually a pretty good game in itself right there. Really, 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 really cool seeing these teams go head to head and, go compete for another trip to the playoffs, really. So, some ranked teams there, action going on. But other than that, it's not really much more. Oh, man, the NJCAA does not disappoint. Neither does the 3C2A, man. I just wish they would all merge. That would be so much fun to see these teams go ahead. I wish I could have played in that back then. Oh, that would have been so much fun. So yeah, Teran, really, really, really neat. And, well, let's just move it on now into this one. Well, into this week, that is. So today, Teran, we got some goodies, man. I like this. I like these ones right here. This is going to be some fun stuff. Okay. Let's see. Where are my rankings that I can't seem to find? Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. So in this Division I ranking here, Hutchinson now taking number 1 in the country. Iowa Western now falls to number 2 because obviously they're really, really good, and they're not going to fall much further. So let's take a look here. This week, of course, Snow taking on Lackawanna. That should be pretty good. Snow, the number 3 team in the country, taking on Lackawanna. They are number 13. Okay. Should be fun. Garden City taking on Coffeyville. I mean, neither teams are ranked, but to be fun. Actually, no, Garden City is 14. Coffeyville not there. But Trinity Valley and Tyler going head to head. Dog City, oh boy, after last week, they're gonna have more fun because they're taking on a very angry Reavers team, Iowa Western. So we'll see there. But Teran, Iowa Central, a team that's a little overshadowed by Iowa Western, but Iowa Central, number 12 in the land, will be taking on number 1 Hutchinson. Can this Iowa team take them down? There's some good games this weekend, man. Of course, we had some games on Thursday, but I mean, nothing crazy here. I mean, Jones College versus Mississippi Gulf Coast was cool. With Mississippi Gulf Coast, former champions a couple years ago, 27-20 winning that one. But yeah, Teran, any games kind of excite you for this weekend?
Yeah, you actually did mention the Thursday games, and I'm glad you did, because that Mississippi Gulf Coast Jones game, that was a banger of a matchup right there. It was the only one that was decided by one score. Everything else was decided by 10+ points, which, I mean, the Pearl River Southwest Mississippi one, that was actually pretty sneaky good. It's just that Southwest Mississippi just could not find any points in the second half. But looking at Saturday's matchups, yeah, I think the Snow Lackawanna matchup, that's a kind of a sneaky good matchup. You mentioned Dodge City and Iowa Western. Ooh, that's yikes. Poor Dodge City. They have to face a Iowa Western team that just literally had its hearts broken. East Mississippi versus Northwest Mississippi. I think that's a sneaky good matchup just because in-state rivalry or in-region rivalry. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a fun little day right here. But I think if anything, it would have to be highlighted by Hutchinson, Iowa Central, even though Iowa Central, I think, lost a heartbreaker last week to Highland. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Oh no, I get you. That's the truth right there, man. I'm looking forward to it right now. We had some fun there in the NJCAA, but man, moving on over to the NAIA, dude. Okay, last week, wow. I mean, we didn't really have, those blockbuster games like we would have wanted, like in the NJCAA. They're coming though, guys. We're getting some of those coming this week. But last week, I just gotta point this out, man. The game that we liked, they weren't even ranked teams, but I don't care. It was fun. Montana State Northern taking on Rocky Mountain, Montana. Rocky Mountain, I love their name, dude. This team has one of the coolest names. Montana, what is it? Montana Rocky Mountain. I'm sorry. Did you ever get a chance to look at their mascot's name?
Not the official name, but I do know their mascot. Yes.
They're called the Battling Bears. That's a cool name, the Battling Bears. So these dudes, man, definitely strong team there. But yeah, nothing really excited last week, though, besides the Battling Bears winning that game. But, really, I mean, Morningside just smacking around Concordia 51-21. Not a surprise. I mean, we're in the very beginning here of the season, of course, for the NAIA, and we're just kind of rolling. So no upsets, nothing really to like go, oh man, that was crazy. Everybody who we thought would won. It's just kind of bland, one of those deals. But Teran, the rankings are now out for this week. And yeah, man, I mean, Kaiser, obviously 2-0. They're looking strong. Northwestern, number 2. College of Idaho, number 3. Grand Valley, 4. And India Westland, 5. This week, we're going to see some of these teams in action yet again. Grandview. Okay. The Grandview Vikings. This team, like I said, they're currently number 4. They've been in and around the playoffs the last couple of years. They'll be taking on Benedictine. And Benedictine, they're 2-0 this year too. They're currently number 12. To me, that's my game of the day. 2 really strong, really, really strong teams there in the NAIA going head to head. I really like that matchup. And I mean, really, other than that, man, I mean, I didn't really see anything. I'm kind of going through it one more time, but yeah, I didn't really see anything that was like, oh man, it's gonna be really, really, really good. Upsets can happen at any given time. We know that, but yeah, Teran, once again, I feel like it's another one of those weeks in the NAIA where it's a little sleepy, but don't worry, NAIA fans. Like I said, we're gonna for sure have some fun ones coming up this week, or in the season that is. Morningside taking on Midland. I'm pretty sure Morningside will win that one pretty handedly. Lindsey Wilson taking on Bluefield. Pretty sure the 2020 champions, Lindsey Wilson, will win that thing. So yeah, nothing too appealing here. But like I said, the one that I have circled for sure is going to be Grandview versus Benedictine. What do you think here, Teran?
So I don't know if you mentioned this matchup from last week, but Bethel taking down Mary Hardin Baylor. That was a pretty good matchup right there. I thought that was pretty solid right there. Just because Mary Hardin Baylor, they're one of the more better teams in the rankings. I don't know if they've had a fall from grace or not, but that's still a pretty solid win for Bethel defending their home turf against a good team like that. But yeah, I think there's quite a bit of matchups that's noteworthy this week.
So to piggyback on that, Teran, yes, you're absolutely right. And I missed that one. It's right. Mary Hardin Baylor. So for those of you who have been following our show for years, obviously, we've talked plenty about the Crusaders out of Mary Hardin Baylor, Division III. Okay, that's a Division III school. NAIA is comparable. Okay, that's what's supposed to be comparable to Division II. Okay, so you see a lot of NAIA Division II crossovers. Okay, so every now and then, what were they, Teran? North American? Every now and then, you get a North American who wants to face an FCS school and get absolutely waxed and have 5-minute quarters in the second half. But you also get NAIA teams who can play Division III schools, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. I thought, hey, well, let's go. So Mary Hardin Baylor, a really good football team in Division III. They have kind of fallen from grace there, and they're not the same Crusaders we knew about 5-6 years ago, but they're still pretty good. And it's true, they took on Bethel, and Bethel being a pretty good team in the NAIA. They're number 7. I mean, yeah, they're pretty good, right? Mary Hardin Baylor, obviously it's kind of funny. We're going into D3 right now in a few moments, but Mary Hardin Baylor, a good football team. Okay, they're not what they were a couple of years ago, but as of right now, they're a team who's gonna fight you no matter what. They're not ranked at the moment. They're unranked, which is uncharacteristic of them. We were talking about these guys beating Mount Union in the Stag Bowl like 5 years ago. Remember that, Teran? I mean, so I mean, they're a good football program, but yeah, man, to take on Bethel and only lose that game by 10 points. We're talking about an NAIA school comparable to D2 losing to this school here 20-10. That's a pretty good football game, man. Hats off to Mary Hardin Baylor for fighting that hard, and Bethel, hats off to them for wanting to take on a pretty good school in Division III. So yeah, that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was a barn burner right there. I really enjoyed it. And yes, I still can't believe Stephen F. Austin had to take Northwestern or North American to the shed. That's like, oh, I still have it pulled up.
Can we not do that no more? Can we not schedule those games? Thank you.
Yeah, but back to Mary Hardin Baylor and Bethel. I think that was a nice little defensive battle right there, and Bethel really answered the bell when it came to their offense. So I think for that matchup, it was a unique matchup, and I'm like, wait a minute, this was a good matchup.
It was actually a pretty good matchup, man. So yeah, Terrence. But my big one today has got to be Benedictine taking on good old Grandview. That's going to be a fun one in the NAIA.
Yes.
Terran, let's transition on over to we already transitioned in D3, man. But last week we had some fun ones, man. Number 8, Wisconsin River Falls defeating number 15 Alma out of Michigan 41-35. Talk about a good football game there on the road. Good job for River Falls getting that thing done. Mount Union obviously gets destroying Ferrum 55-6 in Mount Union fashion, right? I wonder if they sped up those second half quarters there. That sucks. But we did have a close one here. Number 7 Johns Hopkins was on the ropes, man, with number 24 Ithaca. We knew that was going to be one of the better games of the week, and it was. Johns Hopkins, man, pulls it off on the road, but only 4 points, 27-23. Really good game there. And then on top of that, we had another one. Number 19 Wheaton, Illinois. They battled Wisconsin Oshkosh, number 17 Wisconsin Oshkosh. Really fun game there, 19 versus 17. But 17 would edge out 19 as Oshkosh defeats Wheaton 21-14. Talk about a strong performance there by both teams. But really, not much more. I mean, John Carroll, we knew they were going to they were going to show up and they were going to play. But at number 25, they're taking on number 3 in the land, and Wisconsin and Whitewater kind of did what Wisconsin Whitewater should do. 34-7, tough game there for John Carroll, but great victory there for the Warhawks of Wisconsin and Whitewater. But yeah, Teran, we had some fun ones there and some not so fun ones, I guess. But yeah, really nothing big. Shout out to Linfield and Oregon defeating Denison 31-7. Also, number 5 Wartburg defeating Monmouth 38-24, and the number 22 Barry defeating Huntingdon 43-7. So nothing really big last week, Teran. I mean, the Johnnies, number 12 St. John's defeated Carthage, to 49-0. There wasn't really much last week, Teran. It was just kind of like it was opening week for Division 3, and it was kind of like we kind of knew those games would happen, right?
Yeah, there was not an upset, which kind of is saddening, but there were some banger matchups right there this past week. I mean, give credit to Ithaca. They gave everything and more to Johns Hopkins, and I think it's going to make them better down the stretch. And that's what we get. That's something we should expect from 2 ranked teams that are depth pretty much not too far from one another. So I think, and then obviously Wisconsin Oshkosh edging out Wheaton. That's a nice little Midwest matchup right there. And that was definitely a doozy of a matchup. Nice little, not too high scoring. I just think it's one of those classic games where you have to have good physicality if you want to win. So we had expected results, but we also had results that were much closer than most people give credit for.
No, absolutely, Teran. And so the new rankings are not out yet. Bummer, but I will tell you, we got some fun ones this week, man. Linfield, top 25 team, taking on Wisconsin Oshkosh. Oh, that's going to be a fun game today, man. They're fighting in Wisconsin. Should be a great battle there. Another top 25 versus top 25 game. Aside from that one, will be Wartburg taking on St. John's. That'll be a really fun game. Muhlenberg versus Salisbury. I don't know if they're ranked or not, but that should also be another good game. And then, of course, North Central, previous number 1 in the land. They fell last year to SUNY Cortland, taking on Aurora. I don't think Aurora is a top 25 team at the moment. Well, actually, they are. Sorry, they are a top 25 team at the moment. So that's another good school of Illinois. So should be some good matchups there. But yeah, the one that I think is going to be really, really fun is definitely going to be, Linfield and Oshkosh. I love that one. I think that's going to be a great game this week. How about you, man?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best matchup of the day, in my opinion, as well. I think it's between 2 teams that are pretty much evenly matched, and I think that we're in for a fun little matchup. I would say North Central versus Aurora is going to be a good one. Aurora is playing with house money. They are ranked number 14, and I want to say this is like an in-state matchup right here. So don't be surprised if Aurora does come out swinging, but I think North Central should handle them.
Yeah, without a doubt. But it should be a fun game to watch. Hopefully they have the streams up today, so we'll see. But
yeah,
all right, Teran. Well, let's move it on and keep it going, man. To Division 2. Okay, so last week. This week, let's see, we got some good ones. But last week, man, California University, dude, they fought Charleston, number 25 Charleston, not to be, but 23-19. Hats off to Charleston for winning that really fun game right there. There was a point where California probably. They were so close. Also, Bowie State, man, that is the alma mater of our very own Daryl Kinsey Jr., the host of the Extra Mile here on IE Sports Radio on Thursdays. Catch him with the crew, Chris, Michael, and Jen B. Great stuff there. Dude, this was a fun game, though. Lenore Ryan, man, number 13, Lenore Ryan. I don't know. I guess maybe it was closer on paper than on the game, than on the field. I don't know. But 32-19, Lenore Ryan gets the victory over Bowie State. But yeah, man, let me see. There was another one in here that I was like, wait a minute, I really got to talk about that one. It was fun. Okay. Number 7, Central Washington. They are a very good Division 2 team. And they said, you know what? We want a piece of the Toreros out of the FCS. And they got them. They wanted the bull. They got the horns, Teran. 26-7. Hey, you know what? You got it. It's Valiant, though, isn't it? This Division II team's like, no, we're going to fight this AA team. And they did. It was I wouldn't say it's a good game, but San Diego obviously beat them. Sorry, 26-7. Another one of those games this weekend that wasn't a blowout. Norfolk State actually took on Virginia State, and that was a close game, man. 28-23. Little D2 school here going head-to-head with one of those monsters, and they had a pretty good game. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Norfolk State still won the game, but it was a good one. So, good job to those guys. Also here, Virginia Union, which, this was another one. Number 18, Virginia Union took on Hampton of the FCS, 33-21. They lost, but still, I'm telling you, I love these little matchups between these guys because these FCS schools, yeah, man, they're ready to battle, and they're trying to. They're called cupcakes, versus Division I single A teams, but against Division II teams, well, the Division II teams are the cupcakes, kind of. So anyway, so there we go, a little bit of that. But the one dude that we had circled last week, obviously, and we gotta shine some light on this one, was number 8, Minnesota State taking on number 20, Bemdy State. And, dude, this did not disappoint, man. Bemdy State had these guys on the ropes, but the Mavericks of Minnesota State would pull this thing out 31-29. Talk about a close game there. And congratulations to Minnesota State. But, man, keep on fighting, Bemdy State. That was a very good game. Strong schools there out of Minnesota. Going head-to-head, that was our matchup of the week last week for Division II. So great stuff. But yeah, Teran, there was a couple close upsets here. I don't want to just keep going on and on and on. But yeah, man, any games last week that you really liked from Division II?
So one game that I liked was Edenboro defeating Robert Morris 23-21. If you all recall, Robert Morris is an FCS school, and they played Utah State close in that first half. And then they got shut out against Utah State. So that final score was a lot closer than most people give Utah State credit for. But Robert Morris just took a couple steps back against Edenboro. My goodness, dude. I don't know what it was, but gosh dang it. Edenboro really flexed their muscles.
How about good? What's up, Edenboro? Good job, man. Teran. I'm telling you, man, these matchups can be crazy. Appalachian states are out there everywhere, and you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, dude. It's fun times, man. You gotta love a good matchup there. So D2, man, this week. Good call there, Teran. Good catch. So D2 this week, man. Edenboro, that very same Edenboro team that knocked off the FCS, is actually taking on number 9 Kutztown. Teran, what do you think, dude? Do you think they're going to actually upset number 9, or do you think they're going to be brought back down to earth after what could have been just one of those performances where they were super hyped last week? What do you think?
I think they might get brought back down to earth, but you never know. That's why you play the games. And I wouldn't be surprised if Edenboro was able to pull off another win like that. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I guess, I don't know if you mentioned this, but CSU Pueblo took down UT Perriman Basin 40-23. I don't know if that has any significance, but
that was actually a pretty good game. Yes. No. So I'll tell you, Teran, we got ourselves some fun ones to talk about this week. Some more FCS schools taking on some of these Division II schools, and of course some good ranked on ranks we're going to get to in a little. We even have an NAIA team, Florida Memorial, taking on Clark Atlanta this week. But yeah, Teran, I'll tell you, man, we really I just wish we had more, these were televised. But Wisconsin Whitewater, dude, we just talked about the Warhawks. They're looking good. Well, they're stepping up to the plate today, man. They're the cupcake. They are taking on Division II Roosevelt. Bro, this is going to be fun. I'm excited for that game. Let's see what the Warhawks can do. They are ready to battle. That's actually going to be pretty cool. So that game there, Black Hills also taking on FCS St. Thomas there. So that's another game where I'm like, okay. Northern Michigan, dude, this is another team that's actually, they're not one of the best in Division II, but they're Division II school taking on Wisconsin Lacrosse Division III on the road. That's another good game. Bemdy State falling to 23, but they're taking on Southwest Minnesota. I think they should rebound in that game, but it should be a good one. Morehouse, dude, Division II is taking on Howard. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Should be a fun matchup there as well. Division II FCS crossover right there, looking fun. I love these games, Teran. But so to get on to, I think we have like 1 or 2 ranked on ranked this week in the Division II overall. If I can get down there fast enough. Oh my gosh, Augustana, number 18, taking on South Dakota State. Well, all the best to you there. Yeah, definitely not a tough team not an easy team to take on. Cal Poly taking on Western Oregon, FCS and Division II matchup there. But number 4, Grand Valley, man. These guys are going to be taking on number 25. You just talked about them, Colorado State Pueblo, number 25 on the land. Teran, do you think Pueblo is going to stand their ground and defend their turf today, or do you think the Lakers of Grand Valley are just going to be too much for them at number 4?
I think Grand Valley will be too much for them.
Yeah, I know. It'd be fun though, right? It would be fun. But anyway, man, number 1, Harding taking on Oklahoma Baptist. This is some good matchups, man. Obviously, number 3, Pittsburgh State taking on Emporia State. I'm pretty sure those 2 ranked teams will win that one. But anyway, Teran, any D2 games got your eye for this week?
There was North Greenville playing the Citadel today.
Ooh, good game.
So it's another Division II versus FCS school.
Crossover.
Now, Citadel is kind of a unique team. Most people don't really know too much about them, but they're kind of the team that is willing to I think they get paid to play Alabama, and then Alabama kind of just rolls them over like a Chipotle burrito. But I think Citadel, North Greenville could be a unique matchup. So I would say keep too close of an eye on that. But hey, with all these some of these FCS schools losing to these Division II teams, I think it'd be unique.
Chipotle burrito. Golly, man. Teran just went in right there. Now, that should be in the Citadel, of course. Hey, you're right. Good team here that could have some stance on them, man. So FCS time, Teran. Actually, you know what? Let's take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, man, we'll take ourselves a short one. We'll come right back and jump on into the FCS and FBS, get our picks for this week. Oh, we got some fun ones. So, Teran, with that said, y'all, you're listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back with Division I after this.
Welcome to the 305, aka the Magic City, and this is Magic City Scoreboard. I'm your host JB, and right here we're gonna talk anything Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, and even high school football. So join me once a week right here on Magic City Scoreboard on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed to all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and centers. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, @SinCities_IESR. And you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter. At any time, be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That's right, y'all. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We're back at it, you guys. Got about 15 minutes left in our show here today. And, dude, we are here, man. We've made it. FCS, FBS, Division I. We already recapped Division I Single A for the week. So now we can talk a little FBS recap. Teran, this week, obviously, thankfully, the cupcake games are kind of going away now. Division I Single A is playing Single A coming up, and FCS is playing a lot of FCS. They're playing Division II, as we saw, too. But this past week, man, UC Davis getting a nice victory here over Texas A&M Commerce. Obviously, Texas A&M Commerce, the Lions, they were Division II a couple years ago, but 36-22, nice victory there for those guys. I just got to give a big shout out to Sacramento State, dude. They fought Fresno State so damn good, 46-30. Good game there for Fresno State. I mean, for Sacramento State, really, in that one. I had to fight those guys, man. But really, Teran, I mean, you talk about, some of these matchups here in the FCS, and FCS is really fun to watch. It's just, like I said, it sucks when you get all these mix-ups with Division I Single A and all these blowouts. It's kind of annoying, but you can only hope that, we kind of get less of those moving forward, but we're probably not ever going to get less of those. Regardless, you do get some fun ones like Idaho here defeating Wyoming 17-13. Wow, a former FCS school, FBS school, now FCS school, Idaho defeats an FBS school, Wyoming. Oh, that's good. Man, Wyoming wasn't really that good before Josh Allen, and now that he's gone, they're not that good again. So, one of those things. But yeah, Teran, Wisconsin actually getting fought by South Dakota. They still won that game 27-13, but South Dakota held their own. So once again, man, just a couple of those games. A true FCS game here. Youngstown State destroying Valparaiso. Valpo, man, just didn't have an answer. 59-25. Ouch. So yeah, man. I mean, some of these games are, just so crazy. So you talk about the Citadel. They lose a close one here to South Carolina State, 23-20. So yeah, Teran, there was some fun ones, man. I mean, any notables for you from last week from the FCS?
I was about to say the Citadel almost beating South Carolina. Wait, why does it say South Carolina State?
It was South Carolina State, yeah.
Okay.
Not the Gamecocks.
Why did I think that said South Carolina? Anyway, yeah, that was a banger of a matchup right there. But yeah, there were some good ones. There were some ones. There was the Monmouth one, Lafayette and Monmouth. Even though that was the battle of 0-1 teams, it looked like the battle of the banger matchups right there, as Lafayette was able to take down Monmouth 40-35. That was a good one right there. And yeah, there were some really good matchups last week. Idaho edged out Wyoming, as you said. That was a fascinating matchup. And yeah, that's pretty much that right there.
Well, the one that I really, really liked that I want to save to the end, I don't know if you're going to pick it up or not, but North Dakota taking on Montana, man. The Fighting Hawks of North Dakota versus Montana, the Grizzlies of Montana. This was a good one, man. North Dakota 0-1 on the season. Montana 1-0. Well, now they're both 1-1. South Dakota winning at home. That's a good game versus Montana, 27-24. Ayat, the quarterback, 145 yards, 1 touchdown on the game. I mean, Zybarth here, 88 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown on 22 carries. Solid performance there, man. The Fighting Hawks, definitely a strong football team here. And, well, this week, man, in the FCS, we can only hope for some more. Like I said, we're getting some of the cupcakes out of the way. Kind of nice that we're getting into just good old regular play here. Youngstown State coming off a big victory. They'll be taking on Duquesne today. Morehead State and Montana. That should be a pretty good one there. We already talked about Morehouse College taking on Howard. D2, D1. I think actually, no, they're yeah. I think they're D2. But regardless, good game there. But South Dakota and Portland State. Hey, let's see. That'll be pretty cool to see. Nice little battle there. But realistically, Let me see here. There was one I saw earlier that was like, oh, yeah, that's a good one. That should be a fun game. South Carolina State is talking about those guys taking on Georgia Southern. Yes. Gardner-Webb and Charlotte. Two schools there that are 0-2 and need a win. Not quite desperation mode just yet, but they probably feel like it. Two 0-2 teams trying to go head-to-head there. So hopefully we get a good battle. We'll see. Let's see here. This is a tough one. Just kidding. Nebraska taking on Northern Iowa. Damn cupcakes, but we'll see. Western Oregon and Cal Poly. A fun game there. And then, of course, Nichols and Sacramento State. A good game we saw. Obviously, we had a game on Thursday night where South Alabama just destroyed Northwestern State 87-10. Yeah, but once again, cupcake game there. So anyway, Darren, any fun ones you have today for the FCS?
Looking at it, Idaho State, North Dakota looks like a pretty promising matchup. Idaho State almost beat San Diego State a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Prairie View A&M versus Michigan State. Oh boy, that's gonna be ugly. Ugly with the capital I think that is pretty much it. South Dakota playing Portland State. That's not too bad of a matchup right there. Wouldn't call it the flashiest matchup, but what is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe South Carolina State, Georgia Southern, but I think that's pretty much it in my opinion. I think that's pretty much all of my notables right there. Davis, Southern Utah, that's kind of a decent one. I don't think East Illinois Northwestern is going to be all that interesting. Yeah. I'm willing to see what Northern Iowa can do against Nebraska. The problem is that Nebraska just dominates the trenches. Oh, yeah. And they're just so big and physical. And playing at Memorial Stadium is just a nightmare for any team. So, as much as I want Northern Iowa to win, I think Nebraska, coming off that big win over Colorado, they are going to pretty much roll to victory.
That's for sure, man. And South Dakota State here currently leading the country once again. We have North Dakota State behind them. Montana State 3, Villanova 4, Idaho 5. Let's see, man. Let's see what these guys do. Of course, talking to some of these teams, we have here Division 3, North Central leads the pack right now. Cortland, the champions from last year, Wisconsin Whitewater, Mount Union, and Wisconsin Lacrosse, current top 5 there. Division 2, we have number 1 Harding leading it. They're champions from last year. Central Missouri right behind them. Grand Valley State. Pittsburgh, of course, impressive. Moving on up. And then the team who's been in the national championship 2 years running but hasn't won one yet, Colorado School of Mines, rounding out the top 5. And then, of course, we just got the Division 1 AA for you. And then here we go into the Division 1 single A, Teran. Let's get it, dude. Here it comes, man. Last 10 minutes of the show here. We have that AP top 25. From 25 to 21, Northern Illinois, Boston College, Nebraska, Clemson, and Iowa State. Then we have from 20 to 16, Arizona, Louisville, Notre Dame has fallen 13 spots. Michigan and LSU from 15 to 11. Oklahoma, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Utah, and USC from 10 to 5 or 10 to 6. Miami, Oregon, Penn State, Tennessee, and Mizzou, good old Missouri. And then from 5 to 1, Ole Miss, Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia. So number 1, of course, Georgia. So, Teran, today we got some games going on. And though some of these are probably going to be a snooze fest, there are some really good ones today, man. So let's go ahead and get them pick'ems ready. Once again, we already recapped Division 1 single A at the start of the show. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these games today. So, all right, Teran, we got some pick'ems going here. Let's see what we got. Already getting ready to kick off in just a few minutes. Number 4, Alabama versus Wisconsin. Both teams are 2-0 coming into this game. Teran, who you taking?
Alabama, no doubt.
I'm sorry. This is just, no doubt. If Wisconsin wins this game, that would be crazy. But yeah, Alabama fighting here. Just, looking like a strong team. We have an in-state battle here, Teran. The mighty Tulsa. I'm just kidding. Yeah, number 13 Oklahoma State taking on Tulsa. That's a hard one, right?
Yeah, Oklahoma State should win that one.
Number 16, LSU taking on South Carolina. South Carolina 2-0. I don't know. Do you think they have enough firepower to take on the Tigers?
Well, one USC beat LSU to this season. I don't know if another USC will be able to beat LSU. I gotta go with LSU. I think they're the safe pick, but South Carolina is going to really make them sweat in this game.
They will.
Matter of fact, I'm going to call it right now. LSU wins, but by only one score.
Yeah, should be fun. I think that'd be a good game. Like really, that's sneaky good game right there. So coming up next, let's see here. Let's go ahead and just go down the line. Like I said, there's some games here where I'm like, I'm just gonna skip it. Teran, is this the day where Florida State, now they're unranked, they're just not looking very good, but today they're taking on the Memphis Tigers in their really cool jerseys? Teran, is this the week Florida State gets that first victory, or do you think Memphis will also add to the woes of Florida State this year?
It wouldn't surprise me if Memphis wound up beating Florida State, but I don't know what to make of Florida State. I feel after two straight losses to two ACC teams, I just don't know. I think they have to win. I know Memphis is 2-0, but are they a legit 2-0? I mean, the old saying goes, you are what your record shows. And Florida State, they were ranked in the top 15, top 10. Now they are on the outside. Now they're pretty much on the outside looking in and then some. So I'll pick Florida State just to be safe. But I swear this might be the last time I pick Florida State if they keep pooping the bed.
Yeah, they have been pooping the bed a lot. So big ups to boy Drewski. Pick along with us, by the way, guys. You got Drewski picking Bama and Oklahoma State so far. He says upset South Carolina wins. Teran, how you like that one?
For saying that. I really wanted to go with South Carolina, but I just think LSU is probably the safer pick.
Yeah, I agree, man. Number 24, Boston College taking on number 6, Mizzou. Teran, do the Eagles go on over to Columbia, knock off good old Mizzou?
Nah, I think Missouri is going to be too physical for them. Because remember, this is a Missouri team that used to be one of the more not so good teams, and now they've really shot up the rankings because they've had such good recruiting classes. So I think we're going to see Missouri pulling out the win, but it might be close.
No, I agree. That would be a fun one to watch. But that's right. Drewski says here he's a big FSU fan, man, but they might lose this one. He says, give me Memphis. He's actually going to take – wow. He's angry with his team right now. I don't blame him. They have been crapping the bed all season so far. So Massachusetts, only reason why I'm bringing this one up because Patty's going to be there in just a little bit. That game starts in about an hour, Teran. Massachusetts – UMass taking on Buffalo. I think the Bulls have this one in hand. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Buffalo will win.
All right, Teran, we got the Civil War going on today. That's right. It's no longer the Pac-12, but we have the Pac-2 versus the really Big Ten now. Number 9, Oregon, who's had, I don't know, Teran, this game is not easy for me. Because Oregon has been looking kind of suspect in their first 2 games. Number 9, Oregon takes on unranked Oregon State, and they're usually sneaky good. They're a hell of a school, man. They have a great baseball program. So does Oregon. Good football program. So does Oregon. Good softball program. So does Oregon. But I'm telling you, dude, this is going to be fun. The Civil War today. Oregon State, Oregon, the first time they're not in the same conference. Teran, what do you think?
Oregon has looked so suspect the last few weeks. I mean, they struggled against Idaho. They really struggled against Boise State. You know what? Call me crazy. I'm taking Oregon State.
Oh, man.
It's probably the biggest mistake that I'll ever make, but I'm taking those Beavers.
And watch them win. One more time, give me the Oregon Ducks. I'm just saying, I don't know. But Teran, Drewski picking along with saying FSU and Miami have switched roles. That's sad. Give me the Tiger. Look, he's taking the Tigers name actually. And then, of course, give him Buffalo. And he's taking the Ducks with me. So let's see, man. Drewski's picking along with us. Pick along with those guys with our picks today. So let's see here. Ball State taking on number 10 Miami because that should be an exciting game. Teran, even though they're looking better, I have a question for you. A very serious question that I like to ask you once a show. You got to answer truthfully. No more. Teran put the serious face on. Teran, is the U back?
For the time being, maybe, but I want to see them actually face a legit opponent that is ranked. And they won't be getting a legit opponent until they face Louisville, which this schedule is so favorable for them. They've got Ball State, South Florida, Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville, Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech. Maybe Georgia Tech can beat them just like last year. Wake Forest and Syracuse. What the heck is this schedule?
Seriously.
Literally a Mickey Mouse schedule.
Mickey Mouse. Yeah, Teran. I don't even know.
I'm sorry, but MICKEYMOUSE.
Teran, I'll tell you, dude. Give me Miami, but
yes,
yeah.
I'll take Miami too.
I don't think they're back. So anyway, Tulane and number 15 Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure that's a no-brainer for you, right?
Yeah, Oklahoma's winning this one.
But a game that might be hard for you to pick. Number 18 Notre Dame taking on Purdue. Teran, in-state battle here. Is this where Notre Dame really falls from grace, or the Boilermakers just going to be a bump in this schedule for the Fighting Irish?
I'm pretty sure Notre Dame should win this one. Purdue's not one of the better Big Ten teams. I'll take Notre Dame.
As much as it pains me to say Cam Ward is a truth, Canes absolutely no, he's pretty good, man. So yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame in that one pretty big. Texas A&M taking on Florida. Both teams aren't really that great, but they're SEC teams, so we got to talk about them, I guess, right? What do you think?
I'll take A&M.
Yeah, give me A&M too. I'd like to pick the screw it. I'll just go against the grain. I'll take the Gators. Let's see. Apple Cup today, 2-0 Wazoo taking on 2-0 Washington State because, they're not playing the same conference either. I hate this, but yeah, good old Washington State, man. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Apple Cup should be a fun one. Give me Wazoo, bro. What do you think?
I'll take Wazoo too.
Oh!
I'm not really fully sold on Washington and how they got hit hard in terms of the graduation and NFL draft.
Yes, I'm just not with it. I'm not with it. Drewski says, give me OU, hard one. Give me Notre Dame. Yeah, seriously, right? So let's see here. Let's continue moving on up here like the Jeffersons. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, some of these games are just not worth – a lot of these games are just not worth talking about. Some games here today. We're just going to be like, unless there's an upset, nothing really – crazy here. Number one tonight's, of course, game of the week, or I guess the Saturday Night Football game, not the game of the week for sure, but number one, Georgia taking on Kentucky. Seriously?
What?
Stop it. What do you think, Teran?
This is a clear no-brainer, and Georgia's going to win.
Yeah, I don't understand. But this actually should be a fun one, Teran. Indiana taking on UCLA. You talked about this game already on the SoCal Spring Sports Show. Can you give us a little bit of a taste of how awesome that show is?
Yeah, I basically said that this is UCLA's first Big Ten game of its tenure, and they just looked so bad against Hawaii. They were shut out in the first half, needed a second half to take down the Rainbow Warriors. I'll give UCLA the benefit of the doubt. Winning at Hawaii is no easy feat, but you just can't look that ugly against a team like that. So against Indiana, I picked Indiana to win 24-21 just because I think Indiana is just a more heralded team in the Big Ten. I think they're going to be more physical. And if UCLA gets off to that ugly start like they had, I just think that UCLA is not going to recover. So give me Indiana based off of physicality. I think UCLA will make it close, but I just feel Indiana is just going to be too physical for them.
I think so too, man. So I believe so. Drewski says, give me the Huskies. I miss these rivalries on Thanksgiving weekend. You and me both, bro. I love those games. We got another rivalry here, Colorado State and Colorado. Was it the Rumble and the Rockies or something like that? Or
I think so.
Right, but Colorado and Colorado State.
Or the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Or was that Utah, Colorado?
I think so, yeah, whatever that was. But Teran, Colorado State, Colorado. I don't know, man. Some people are just not sold on Prime's team no more. I don't know. Colorado State's actually getting a little bit better, but they're only favored. Colorado's only favored by 7.5 points. What do you think?
I'll take Colorado just to be safe. I like Travis Hunter, and I think Shedeur
Yeah.
Saunders is going to show up and show out. They're not going to ever face a bigger physical team like Nebraska ever again, unless it's like someone from the Big 12.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. So we got a DMV battle. We're just missing the D here because Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Well, Delaware, the Blue Hens, they're Division 1 AA. But we do have 2 single A teams in the MV. Maryland taking on Virginia, the 2-0 Virginia, who's the Cavaliers taking on the Maryland Terps, the 1-1 Maryland Terps. They're actually favored by a point. That's crazy. Teran, what do you think?
I'll take Maryland in this one. I think they're just the safer pick.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that one. So, yeah, Teran, some of these are just going to be snooze fests, bro. I'm excited for San Diego State and Cal, though, dude. I know you talked about that one yesterday on the SoCal Stream Sports Show. What do you think, man?
I kind of have to go with Cal on this one. Until I see some form of offense with San Diego State, I just don't think they'll be able to beat a Cal team on the road.
Yeah, they look like crap. Oregon State smacked them around last week. So, yeah, man, I don't know. New Mexico State taking on Fresno State. Why? Because, well, it could be a fun game. I don't know. However, I think the Bulldogs are just going to eat these guys. What do you think?
The Bulldogs got to eat. Give me Fresno State.
Absolutely. And, of course, this past week, Teran, Arizona State taking on Texas State. They beat them on Thursday 31-28. I mean, last night Arizona got handled by Kansas State 31-7. UNLV, though, man, did the unthinkable. Cale Henderson himself was like, I think this is the game where Kansas is going to fall. UNLV is going to fall, man. They're going to lose the game. Bro, they went on over and beat freaking Kansas, dude. They beat the Jayhawks rock chalk. How you think? What are you thinking, man? UNLV is raising some eyebrows right now, man.
Yeah, I think they're actually going to look pretty good in the Mountain West Conference. And I think their best competition is probably going to be Boise State. So I really like UNLV, and I think they're going to be a scary team come MPSF time. Or not MPSF, Mountain West Conference time.
I agree, dude. And you got Drewski saying upset Colorado State. Bro, watch it happen. Why not, right? We've seen so many things this year already. Watch that happen. Cal is a sleeper team this year, he says. I agree, dude. This is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. UNLV, though, man, I think is the talk of the town right now. The talk of the – Cale keeps on talking about it. Dude, they had a lot of Bishop Gorman guys this last year. They had some Liberty dudes. They had some guys from Henderson. I think
local recruits.
They do. They're building on the local recruits, man. UNLV is really starting to up that program. There's some Desert Pines High School over there, dude. There's some great football in Las Vegas, man. There's some good football, some good schools. And I think they're just getting kind of pissed off that Bishop Gorman should be their feeder, but they're going everywhere else. So UNLV is like, nah, bro, we want to keep our local talent. I love it, man. So yeah, UNLV was a shocker. Yeah, dude, them winning that game was amazing. Dude, not even Cale Henderson picked them this week. So let's go UNLV, man. I'm excited for those guys. Teran, football has already begun for today, and let's go ahead and cue that music and get out of here. But dude, that was a fun show as always. Good sir. Any I don't know, what do you want to say, man? Any last thoughts, words, comments, anything for our listeners today?
You and I are gonna have serious USC we're gonna have serious USC withdrawals. Can it be next week?
Seriously,
next week come sooner?
Oh, that's going to be fun, man. USC next week is getting ready to ball out versus Michigan. I'm a little nervous, but then again, I'm not. That's going to be a lot of fun, though, next week, dude. But yeah, today we got some bangers, man. Like I said, we're going to even put up the links today. So please make sure you follow us right here on 3 and Out. CEIE. We're gonna put some links today for those junior college games, some of the D3s. We're really gonna have some fun. If they put the links up in the websites, we'll copy and paste them on these, share. Some of these, of course, you got to pay for, so we're like, yeah, we're not doing that. But for the ones who are free, you can watch on YouTube and all that good stuff, or just their streaming services. Put them up. Enjoy the smaller schools, guys, because that's why sometimes when these D1 single A games just kind of suck, those smaller schools deliver, man. Teran and I have watched those things for years, man. So follow, of course, our boy Teran Rodriguez at Teran Rodriguez 1. You can follow me, our boy Larry B at the THE_LB53. show us some love, man. We really appreciate you guys so much for being here, tuning in, being a part of us. You guys are incredible. Just so much love and appreciation for everybody tuning in, man. Follow us all over the place on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all over IE Sports Radio. So many platforms, man. We're available right here. Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, HeartRadio. The list goes on. IESportsRadio.com. IESportsRadio.com/3 and out. College Edition, that's right. IESportsRadio.com/shop. Pick you up some merch. I mean, guys, we got it all here, man. We appreciate you. Go check out our boy Drewski, man, tuning in with his busy schedule. Great show, fellas. Have a great weekend. Larry B and T-Rod, that's right, man. We appreciate you guys. We will see y'all next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.
Peace.